Go.
Welcome to the Academy Podcast. We have a special episode. We already know coming in here that we're not going to be here all day today because one of us could any minute have to drop off, like because there's something more important. So, but we got a couple of guys in here today because like my knowledge is limited. Like I love giving advice and stuff, and I raise my boys and feel like I did a good job. And I love giving out tips and tricks, but the reality is, man, I got boys. There are some things that you're gonna hit, that you're gonna go through that I have no awareness of. You know, the only girl I got is my wife. So I got two guys, man, who I look up to as girl dads, man, who have done an excellent job. In fact, both of them have girls that have done things for our program. We do Imone's girls on the podcast, and we've had Van's girl do something for us as well. So on Now Worship. So anyway, without further ado, man, I want to bring these guys on so that we can talk about. And listen, I say all that to say, you know, because I've been tiptoeing around the fact that you got a brand new baby girl.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to drop that. That's it, man. Come on, she's my pride and joy. She's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. So big shout out to my wife, man. Let me drop these air horns, man. On her, man. Just shout out to her, man, for bringing out the best in all of us, man. But I'm excited for what the wife brought in. Arden James is here. 6 pounds, 14 ounces, 18.5 inches, man. I fell in love with her immediately. She has all my money already. 18.5? 18.
See,
That's
when
what
you have
the doctor
boys, you
said.
don't count the 0.5. I did not
18.5,
count no
man.
0.5.
18.5, man. Yeah, man. But we're excited. So
That's
she's
it.
here. So new dad. So we want to come on the pod. Special Father's Day edition. It's my first go around, so I'm excited for that, man. We got the fellas who are here today, as he mentioned. Got Kimon Hines in the building, Van Dion Griffin, guys who are girl dads, man, who are killing it. Fellas, what's good, man? Y'all all right?
These-
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yo, look at this all-star team of girl dads up in here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
For
sir.
real, man. Listen. Dealing with all three of the daughters represented right here, man. Dealing with them, yo. Listen, I was very, very, very proud, man. They did an excellent job for us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, just first, let's start with Kimon. You got two daughters, man. Just big them up real quick.
Yes, sir. I'm the proud dad of 3 teens, but 2 of them are girls. I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. I stuttered because I don't know when this is coming out. My daughter's birthday is going to be July the 1st. So if it comes out after July 1st, I'll have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old. I'm a proud dad of girls, and they got me this shirt that I have to show on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find out.
Yeah, there you go. Hold it up.
All right.
Bam.
Here we go.
That's it.
All
Bang,
right.
bang. This is
Girl dad. Proud girl dad.
All right, man. Tell me about your daughter.
Yeah, she is no secret to anyone because every chance I get, I am promoting that chick, man.
That's
my homie, my girl, Kaylin, man, she just turned 18 and she is a freshman this fall, going to Oakwood University, man. So I've been a girl for 18 years, boy.
Doc.
Sure.
Matter of fact, both of us just got off a plane late last night, man. She's been traveling with me as I do my work, and she's working for me this summer, man. So I'm having a great time hanging out with my daughter.
That's
awesome. The other day, man, Van dropped something on Facebook, man, about it. Now, what I love about Van, let me go with Van first, man. Whenever you see Van talk about, and it's me being a new girl dad, I mean, Van will get on the live and they will play music, they will do dance offs, but the best thing is the food that they will try together, man. Van will set it up. I mean, Van is living like a king over there, man. Not only is his wife cooking good food over there, but his daughter has a skill in the culinary arts, man. Van, you trying crazy, you eating crazy stuff online. What's it like, man? Just kind of having that interaction with your daughter that, we see some fathers, that we see on TV or we read stories about how, they tend to fall apart as the age gap kind of just continues to grow. But what's it been like, man, for you all kind of being so close, man? Even though she's turning 18, man, she's almost by your hip all the time. What's that like?
Man, I tell you, I couldn't think of a better child to have the privilege of raising, to be co-laborers with Kim, my amazing wife. God just blessed us with this chick, man. And, I got a chance to talk to Austin about Kaylin a little bit once before. And I shared with him that when she was being birthed, man, one of the things that the doctor said to me was, hey, I want you to assist me in bringing her out of your wife's womb. And, bro, I did not have a dry eye that whole process, man. And I was the first one to hold her as opposed to Kim. We gave her over to Kim, but man, when I held that girl, bro, I mean, immediately, man, I started asking God, give me whatever it takes to be the best for this young lady. I mean, I didn't know what would that look like. I just knew that I needed whatever I needed to have. I needed God to give it to me because I was just mesmerized, overwhelmed, like in just that moment, like you just experienced.
You just captured.
I was a daddy.
Yeah.
And, and it was a chick. And it was a chick, man. I was just like, oh my God.
So you all didn't know?
No,
wow.
We refused to find out. The doctor wrote it on a piece of paper, sealed it, and then we gave it to some friends of ours, and they passed it around, but no one ever shared with us what we were.
So Y'all didn't have the room painted then.
We didn't have no room painted. I mean, listen, I was a seminary student, man, so I couldn't paint a room anyway, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we didn't know we were having a girl or a boy. We didn't know what we were having, man. We just knew we were having a baby. We wanted it to be a surprise. We did have a bunch of Pampers and we had a bunch of neutral color stuff. But man, when I found out it was a girl, when Kim found out, yeah, it was life changing, man. Yeah. And you know, to have Caitlin by my side, we literally have the same personality. She is just as much sanguine as I am. And
that makes it. I know that makes it great inside the house too, man. Y'all just be. I know y'all be dying in the house.
Yo, bro, it's 2-1 in my house, man. It's 2-1 in my house. And you know, she's on my wife's side, you know, as well. And also, yeah, I don't want to spill it early on. You may get to this.
Oh yeah.
You'll learn as they get older. They will play you.
Yeah, I know it's coming. Hey, man.
Let me follow up this question. We were talking about how close you all are, and so let me ask Kimon. So, having a boy and 2 girls, I thought it would be a tendency for the boy to be up under you, and for the girls to be up under her. And so, how do you know what I'm saying? So, like, she trains them, and you train him. So when we talk about girl dad, because of course Van Dion said, no, I'm in this. So was there a time where it was like she had them and they were with her all the time and you stepped in, or what? Or, like, how did that go down?
You know, that's so funny. By the way, Van Dion tells you about his daughter being born. My son is 3 months younger than Van Dion's daughter. So my wives were pregnant together at seminary. So we went to father classes together. Remember that?
Together.
To talk about what to do if the baby's crying in the middle of the night and you don't know what to do. We went to all that stuff together. So it's cool to be on here. So what's interesting, right? My son and I, there were things immediately that we gravitate to, like sports. So it's weird. I'm wearing this girl dad shirt, which of course is inspired by Kobe Bryant, right?
Right.
My son has been following Kobe since, I don't know how young my son was, following the Lakers and followed them all the way through. So we always had that in common. I remember for my daughters, it was more of an attachment with my wife. They had things they had in common, like, you know, girl stuff. And in our house, we would say the boys are doing this, the girls are doing this. But it was, I think my oldest daughter was probably around 7 years old, and they did a daddy-daughter date night in my community. And we went, and it ended up being just like a dance. And then from that, my oldest daughter and I, we started picking up like what we do together. We'll dance. So that was our thing. We just dance. And her and I, we have a similar like sense of humor. We have a similar enjoy the same like the same stuff that's fun to us. That's it. Now the challenge is my youngest. Like we had to figure out like what are we gonna have in common? Like, and I think for every dad and child, whoever, you got to figure out what do we have in common. And it ends up being like business is our thing that we have in common. But to your point, Kagia, my son and I, it was just natural. Like sports, he likes sports, I like sports. That was it, right? And it's the same thing. We could sit in the same room, watch the game, say a few things to each other, and that's it. But my girls, I had to work a little bit more to build that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, Kimon, with the girls, what you all have is unique, bro. Because I mean, you all have this. You've created entrepreneurs. Not just you, but Van, your daughter is into stuff, making her own money. You all's daughters are on screen, seeing them do it. So for preachers who are now, also entrepreneurs who do a bunch of stuff, and now seeing your daughters, kind of be in their own space. What's that like? What's that been like for you first, Kimon? Kind of seeing them out there on social media, pushing the brand. I know we've had them on, and it's a proud moment. But like, what's it like when they making their own paper? You know what I'm saying? When you supporting them.
Yeah. I'll say this. So I'll just start off by saying for any parent who's ever thought about having your child start something of their own, the main reason you should do it is you get much better gifts. Man, listen, my Christmas gifts, my Father's Day gifts, my birthday gifts have gone to the next level, man. I used to get, you get stuff you like, thanks, dollar store stuff, right? I appreciate this. But man, I'm getting stuff going, wow, like I really wanted this. So they ask me what I want. But I'll say this. For my girls, one of the things that I always wanted them to do was kind of like use their creativity. It's my old youth director in me, right? I came on one summer. I wasn't youth director. They weren't going to camp. I was like, man, these kids can't just sit here watching TV or whatever. So I was like, y'all gonna start a blog. All right. And then I was like, y'all go become like certified babysitters. That was the first thing my girls did. And they became certified babysitters and started a little business doing babysitting. So they were doing that for years. And certified. Then it's all, yeah, they're certified. They're still certified babysitters, went through all this stuff online, whatever. And then it was interesting. Them getting into business wasn't my idea as much as my youngest daughter said, you should do a camp helping kids start a business. That was her idea. Yeah. She said, if you do it, I'll take it. So she went through the camp. And then after she went through, she became a part of like doing the camp. So for me, like watching them, I am seeing them like blossom. And I think that's as a dad for girls, that's what you want. You want to see their personality come out. Like when I was listening to them on your podcast, guys, I was like, man, those are my girls. Like I was surprised myself listening to them. And I think that's really the joy of being a father. You just like, wow, they're not just mimicking me. They're doing their own thing now.
Yeah, I think that's dope, man. I think it's dope that we kind of get a chance to see that stuff happen, and we see how proud you and your wives are about what they're doing. And it's funny, man. I called Van mentioned earlier that me and him talked, man. I called Van in the bathroom of the hospital. That thing was about to get real. I was like, yo, doc, yo, I need some wisdom. And one thing, man, I love that Van that stuck with me, man, about what Van has said. And even though Van can be a jokester, we do look up to him in this sense, man. That not only is he a mega pastor and leader, but just wherever Van went, for some reason, like his kids weren't like dragging along, like just because they were tired of just dragging with him. They were excited to be there. They had purpose when they were there. And one thing Van mentioned was like, and Van, I kind of want you to touch this for a little bit. You talked about investing in your daughter, and I think for a lot of us young fathers who have just had a few daughters, we have a couple of colleagues who've been pregnant, who've given birth to daughters, man, you that stuck with me, bro. That you said, you know what? We're just going to have one daughter here, but we're going to invest. And we see now, graduating Pine Forge, one of the tops of her class, man. I mean, major. She preaches, does all this stuff. But I think it started, man, with investing early. So, man, talk to us about what that investment looked like for you all in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, for me, really, it was TIME. Like, I never wanted my child to have to wonder if she had a dad. Like I'm not talking about like someone who was there in the home that was married to her mother, but like she actually had a dad. And so for me, that looked like I needed to spend as much quality time with her as possible, and then do whatever it takes to have her kind of be with me. And so early on, her and I even had discussions like when I became, like Kimon, I was a youth director. And, my schedule just went haywire. Like I was like having to go on a regular basis. And, Austin, I didn't tell you this, man, but my daughter, said to the president, my dad has to travel for his job. I need you to make it possible that I go with him.
Oh, wow.
Now, wow. I'm still like, and the president says, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, just like that. Like, I have no problem with that. And so a lot of people who saw my child with me just about everywhere I was going, my daughter kind of like spoke up, and I mean, I just didn't know to speak up to say, hey, I want her to go with me. I just knew that wherever I was, I wanted her with me. And if I had to go somewhere, I would do whatever it took to get back in time to be with her. Like I never stayed longer in any meeting than I had to. We used to laugh at the table. People would say, man, you're not going to stay for this and stay for that. I'd be like, no, the meeting's over and I need to get back. Right. And Kimon, and honestly, Kimon was the same way. Like we never stayed in longer than we had to. If the meeting was over with and we had a way to catch a plane to get back to our families, we would do it while other guys would hang around. For me, it was that major. My daughter has a volleyball game, and looked like I froze. You good? My daughter had volleyball games, and bro, they were the worst. I mean, they were losing every game they went to. It didn't matter.
Right. You want to
I
be there.
wanted
Yep.
her to cheer her on, to hold her. You know, when she comes off the court, feeling dejected. You know, those kind of. So we put all of our investments in her. I mean, we sent her to all kinds of camps, but then we would go there and hang out with her, or just show up, out of the blue, stuff like that. Man, I just wanted to. I wanted to always be in her life, even at school. When I knew what time she was having lunch, I would just go down to the school and have lunch with her. Like all the other kids, man, they're screaming and hollering, whatever, happy to see me. But Kaylin is like, I'm, this is what happens.
This is it. Yeah, this is every day.
Yeah.
Tell me this. So raising these daughters, and taking those first moments that Austin just took the other day, what was the thing that you were afraid of? What was the thing that you were like, something's coming and I'm not ready for it, but you got to it and you got through it? And but what was that one or two things that you were like, oh my goodness, I got a girl, this is gonna happen?
I'll tell you this. So my parents only have boys, right? My dad has 3 sons. I'm the oldest boy. So that means there's a little bit more toughness in my family, right? Like, meaning like we didn't interact very much in terms of touchy-feely and feelings and stuff. It was just boys in the house. And after, it's funny, in my family, I was telling my wife this, in my family, after I was born, my cousin before me, and then after us, everyone up until my daughter, everyone just had like boys. So my family just full of boys. And I wondered to myself, will I be able to be delicate enough with my girls to handle, just what it takes to be in touch with their feelings, to be affectionate enough, to manage all of that kind of stuff, when I only knew how to, I didn't have sisters. So I was like, okay, can I handle that part of it? That was one of the things I thought about.
And were you able to handle it?
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I'm probably the most emotional person in the house now. Like, but it's my daughters have taught me, and I realized, I mean, like, it was there all along, but it was just a fear that I had. But I think, just as you live, you realize, okay, I God has put this in me, and it's just waiting for the opportunity to come out.
All right, Van.
Yeah, man, for me, holding that little girl, and man, I'm literally like seeing it in my mind right now. As I was holding her, I was saying, is she going to love me as much as I love her right now? I mean, is that going to be the kind of relationship that we're going to share? And I'm hoping and praying. I mean, I had so many prayers that I was praying on the way to the hospital, because for me, that's when it really got real. Like, I mean, I knew my wife was pregnant. I mean, but we had gotten used to it. I mean, it was 9 months. You know what I'm saying? And the night, Thursday evening, man, we heading to the hospital. I just started praying, and then when I held her, I said to myself, I wonder, is she going to love me as much as I love her? And I'm going to do whatever it takes, And I still remember, you didn't ask me all this, but I still remember at night when Kaylin would not sleep. I mean, this is early on. I mean, she wasn't even 2 weeks old when we had her home. I would get her, take her downstairs from Kim, give Kim some space, and I would lay Kaylin on my bare chest.
Hey, that's skin to skin, bro.
And all she had on was that diaper, man. And man, she would literally snore right under my neck, man. And I couldn't wait to, I was still in school, finishing school, but I would go to class. Immediately after class, there was no fellowship for me. And people who know me know I'm a fiend for fellowship. But bro, I was making my way to the house for one of the main reasons, to relieve my wife and to let my wife know that we're in this together. This is not just your work.
I agree with that. Right.
And so I wanted to know, man, that she would love me just as much as I would love her. I knew I was in love with her. I mean, her mother had already mesmerized me, but then to have another one, and I'm just like, man. And so I worked on that hard. I mean, all of my life, I have just wanted to be the kind of dad where my daughter, she loves her dad and loves being around her dad. You know, and I'll tell you, I didn't like being around my dad. I mean, I just didn't. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I lived around my mom more than my dad. And I didn't want that to be the relationship that me and Kayla had. I wanted her to, you know, like want me to be around. And even to this day, you know, I walked into her graduation and she was hanging out with the crew that she hangs out with. All of them came running to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a relationship with not only her, but her whole little crew that she hangs out with. And they all want to take photos. And, you know, it's that kind of thing. That stuff makes a difference to me.
That's it.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
That's it.
Kagia, can I add one more thing? I remember, you know, when your kids are young, as Van Dion talks about, like people say, oh man, enjoy this stage, right? Because just wait till it become teenagers. It's gonna be whatever, right? I remember people would say that, right? Oh, it's so cute now. When they become a teenager, Austin, you know, they going whatever. And I remember this is gonna sound weird. I was listening to Joel Osteen preach one Sunday, just random, right? It's not like I'm a regular, but random. And he said, somebody said the same thing to him, like, wait till your children become teenagers, right? It's gonna be whatever. So enjoy it now. He said, you know what? I reject that. He said, I reject that. I'm going to believe that every stage of being a parent, I'm going to enjoy it. And man, I took that thing with me.
He blessed you. He blessed you.
Yeah, he did, man.
Good.
Listen,
that's good.
And the thing is, I tell my kids now, I actually enjoy being around them now. Like I enjoy being around them. I think we enjoy being around each other. There are times when they don't have to come with me, or they don't have to come with us when we just go and stuff. And I see my son say, "Yeah, what time we leaving?" I'm like, "That's big." So I think for any parent who's out there, somebody's going to say, just wait till they get to that stage. It's not going to be that good. Man, listen, you need to be intentional and say, listen, no, every stage, I'm going to let this stage be what it's supposed to be. Right. And, you know, they're going off to college next. I'm going to look forward to that because I'm going to enjoy that stage with them and let it be what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm in this space right now where she do no wrong. I'm getting up. I'm changing every diaper. It's like, I don't care. I'm up first to give the wife a break. I'm doing the skin. It's all
remember the first few days where it don't stink.
and it's already over now. Like the other day, I'm like, I mean, dude, today literally we were weighing her and she just peed on me. And I didn't even, it's all good. Just love you. You know what I'm saying? Just in love. But it's crazy. But I was just, you know, I want to hear from you guys just as, you know, she do no wrong to me. I'm like, yo, I'm just so in love. Like, yo, man, listen, was the discipline hard? Having to discipline your angel, your girls, man. What, man? I mean, when you had to be the bad guy, man, because I can't imagine right now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Van ever has.
Man, you know, if my wife was here right now, she'll tell you that she is the bad person. I'm the good person. You know, it is what it is. And Kim had to work much harder than I ever had to work. Because again, I really love being in Kaylin's space, her in my space, always laughing and talking to her. And when it came to discipline, I may have spanked Kaylin twice in her life, maybe, you know, 99% of the time, all I have to do is look her directly in the face. And I've never, I want you to hear me on this, never, ever screamed at my child.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing in the world. I mean, to get their attention, it's better to actually lower your voice than to scream. And I learned that early on, you know, before I even had a kid. And so whenever Kaylin was, you know, did something that, you know, we needed to have a discussion about, I would literally talk to her. And just me talking to her would break her. I mean, she would be like, but baby, I haven't even spanking you. You know, you haven't even seen the spanking. But it was just a conversation. And my wife would say, I can't talk to her. I mean, me talking to her, she's looking at me like, okay, whatever.
Right.
And she loses it. So, yeah, for me, and Kaylin has been disciplined by me, but it's only been a conversation. Like, here's what's going to happen, you know, and end the discussion. And literally, when I say this is what's going to happen,
it's going to happen that way.
Oh, yeah, we're moving on. I'm not walking around with an attitude and mad at her. No, I'm just like, okay, Kaylin, I told you can't do X, Y, Z. Now, okay, let's go do A, B, and C because we can do that. We just can't do
Right.
it.
Right. What about now, Kimo? You got two, man.
Hey,
What's that for you?
Hey,
Was it
Austin,
difficult?
let me jump in before we go too
Oh,
far
okay.
because
Yeah.
I know the people in TV land, they see me nod my head and stuff. I want to be honest. Man, I've been yelling at my boys, man. I've been yelling. And I was shaking my head because it's real good. I'm glad that you did that. And I wish I was able to do that. My son called, tell me I'm yelling, and I'm just talking. I said, I'm just talking. So, but man, I think that's awesome. Man. I'm sure it worked.
But no, I mean, I would literally be in her face.
Yeah.
And she knew, even as a little baby, you know, when she would do something, you know, you just tap, you know, I wouldn't have to do that. I would say, no. You know what I'm saying? And that continued when she did something that she had no business. I would have her to have a seat, and I would look her dead in the face, and we would have this conversation. And you know, the other thing that's important to me is for us to be able to communicate. And the reason, the other bigger reason for that was for me, like I could have some issues and challenges that I'm not able to communicate to my parent or the person that's in authority. And I think they need to hear that, you know what I'm saying? So that they can understand probably why I did what I did. Why am I reacting the way I'm reacting? And so, you know, Kim and I had a long discussion about this, of how we wanted to make sure that the communication line was always open, especially when it came to discipline. So that we want to be able
so she was able to question stuff. And y'all explain it instead of like old school. It was like, no, you don't question me. This is the way it is, period. You don't question what I say. I make the rules and you don't ask no questions about it. So,
no. And listen, we were not trying to be new age parents. We just wanted to, our child to be able to communicate to us what was going on. And the reason why is we never wanted her to hide anything from us. I said to Kaylin early on, I don't care what you do.
What it is.
I don't care what it is. You can tell me.
Right.
And I want you to tell me before you tell somebody else. I want you to know you can trust me with it before you trust anybody else with it. I don't ever want to be that parent where you're afraid to say, I cussed. Okay, so you cussed. That's not the end of the world.
Right.
You're pregnant. That's not the end of the world. You understand what I'm saying? I wanted to communicate that to her early on so that she would never have a need to hide. Ever. Right. I didn't want that to, you know.
And that's important between daddy and daughter. That's important.
Yeah. Did she ever hide anything from us? I mean, I don't know. But I do know that we have had the most open dialogue that, you know, a parent could have, you know, and there are times where she said stuff and I'm just like, man, you know, I couldn't say that when I was a teenager. Or I'm glad that she's able to express herself, but it has not caused her to be arrogant or disrespectful. And so for me, I think we won. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you won. Yeah. No question. No question about that, Doc. You won for sure. Now, Kimon, I got to ask you, man, are your girls pitting themselves against you for your heart, man? Is it, when it comes to discipline for you, bro, what has that been like, especially with two daughters?
So I'll be honest. I think my son probably got more discipline from me than the girls. And it's not because, you know, I think my, you know, girls, you know, they have their dads wrapped around their finger. But I think I became a more patient person as I became a parent. Like, I think I got better where I realized, nah, it ain't got to be all that, right? Just as Van said, I wish I could say Kagia, like Van said, I never yelled. But that ain't my testimony, right? But one of the things I will say that I promise my kids, I promise myself, this is in marriage and as a parent, if I mess up, I'll fess up. And that's something I have sat on my kid's bed, on the side of the bed, to listen.
And say,
I yell at you. I got upset. And I was wrong. And I apologize. Man, my kids, they jokingly say, anytime Dad does something, man, he gonna come in here and whatever, he gonna cry. They joke about it because I do it, but the thing is, I want to do it. Listen, do I wish they would do the opposite and come and say I was wrong? Yeah, I do, but I don't think sometimes you don't have the.
Hey, but they'll do it. They'll do it with their children.
Yeah,
they'll do it with their children.
But to your question, man, like I realize my daughters have gotten away with more stuff, you know, than my son, because I realize there was some stuff that I got on him about that it probably wasn't that big a deal, right? It wasn't that big a deal. I mean, there's probably the fact that I know my youngest daughter for sure. She knows how to get stuff out of me. I call her the negotiator in chief, right? She's the negotiator in chief. Like, no, when I say no, she'll come back. But what about this? I'm like, man, come on, like, just don't wear me down. Just let me go this time, and she'll wear me down. So I know they have a greater pull. They're a lot more like, at least the youngest one. She's a lot more determined to kind of like keep going with stuff. But
Awesome.
I think I've become a better parent along the way.
Austin, he brought up the fact that sometimes, you know, oldest boy, he got in trouble for some stuff that wasn't all that. Don't get so mad, dude, if you in the car and she just having a good time in the back with her friends, and you would rather have some peace and quiet. They back there laughing and joking. Don't turn around and fuss them out like, yo, be quiet. You see, I'm on the phone. They having a good time. And I used to bust up in my kid's room after bedtime, like, yo, be quiet up in here. But they just having a good time. You know, it's not all that. It's not, you know, you gotta choose your fights. And some of those, man, I remember being mad at my oldest son because when he was little, he didn't speak to people. Mm-hmm. You know, when he's a baby, you know what I'm saying? This dude is like 2. And sometimes he didn't feel like speaking. People be like, hi. And he'd be like, whatever. And I used to be like, oh man, you embarrassing me. Man, please.
Yeah. Let's talk about the other elephant in the room, man, when it comes to man, all of these kids are PKs. And the thing that I really pushed, and Kim and I both pushed for this to make sure that we raise Kaylin just as normal as anybody else would raise their kid, you know. And I was speaking for a federation once, and you know, and I was telling people, I said, you know, my daughter is what do you call it? Oh yeah, black. She's black.
Yeah.
And she has what I don't have. I wish I did have. That's what's that word? Oh yeah, rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
She
moved. I was like, so your kid moves too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dances as well. Your kid is human. My kid is human as well. Nothing different about my kid from your kid. And I refuse. I would always say my daughter will be my daughter.
Right.
Running to me, you know, saying anything to me about my child that you're not willing to say to your own child. I don't ever want to hear someone say to my child, but you're the pastor's kid. No.
Yeah.
Dandion and Kimberly's kid. You know, and I made those kind of statements, you know.
From the pulpit, too. From the pulpit. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
When I was in the church, you know, too. I mean, she has what you call those things? Oh, yeah, ears. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to make that clear, overtly clear, that there is nothing different about my child other than she is privileged to have one of the best fathers in the world. You know, she's human. And I am not going to allow you all, you know, and I would say this to the church, do not say anything to my child or to my wife. If you have an issue, share that with me, but allow them to be who they are in the space that they're in. That's it. That's all I ask of you. And I'm like, you won't have any trouble out of me unless you go after my wife and my daughter. And I never mixed words. I never mixed words. I said, I can take it. I said, they are not supposed to take it. They're not supposed to take it. Yeah. And so, you know, make sure you do that. That's what I really want Austin to know. Allow Arden, man, to develop and to grow and to have her friends. And if they're at your house and they're dancing and all, I mean, it's okay.
It's okay.
Go dance with them, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Listen, and something I just want to interject, man. One of the biggest things that I've realized, you got to let your kids teach you. You got to let your kids teach you stuff, man. Like, my daughter's teaching me these dances and stuff. We put it up on YouTube. But part of the thing, I look silly. She looks coordinated. I look silly, right? Yes. And the thing is, but we created a memory, right, for her. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes as parents, we go, well, I know you don't. And it's like, no. I think God gives us our kids so that we shape them, but they also shape us. You know what I'm saying? Like Van Dion is not who he is without Caleb.
Right.
I am not who I am without Jaden, Janai, and Joel. And so I think sometimes as parents, man, you don't have to be the expert on everything. It doesn't just have to be your music. It could be some of their music. It doesn't just have to be your taste and stuff. It could be their taste. And man, let them teach you stuff. Be a novice. Allow them to see you in a position where you're like, all right, show me, because I don't know how we doing this.
All right, so you talking about being shaped. You talking about being shaped. Let me talk about this other elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Hair. Tell me about that. How y'all deal with hair?
I got a joke on that one. Go ahead,
I mean,
man.
so, again, you know, my daughter and I, you know, there's sometimes when we're doing stuff, we're traveling, we're hanging out, and Kim can't be with us, you know, for spring breaks or whatever. We decide, okay, you know, for this spring break, we're gonna go somewhere, but Kim is not gonna go because she's gonna save her vacation time for the summer, you know, those kind of things. I had to do the hair, you know, so I would say, okay, Kim, I tell you what, let's get it braided. Or while we're on the trip, Kim is saying, okay, like she has a hair appointment when she gets back, so her hair has to come down. Well, man, I'm sitting in the hotel room and I got a comb, and man, we working through it together.
On to it.
Out of her hair and cut her hair mistakenly, you know, just craziness, man. She's not mad at me. She's laughing. She's like, Dad, what are we gonna do? I was like, man,
I don't know.
Yeah, let it grow out. You know, I mean, we just work through it together. You know, it for me, and I'm big on hair, so you need to know that. Like I say to my daughter, even now, there's absolutely no reason why you walk around with a nappy head. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So either you're gonna
never,
or you're gonna go to that shop and get it done. And my wife will say, "But dude, she's only 9 years old. Who's gonna pay for this?" I said, "Her daddy's gonna pay for it." You know,
Her daddy.
Yeah.
And Kim was like, "Okay, well, if daddy," she's like, "Cause I'm committed to making sure it gets done once a month." And I'm like, "No, let's get it done twice a month because you know she don't have chemicals in it, and she has what you call that African American hair."
Yeah.
They don't get curly like Kimo's girl hair. Does, you know, it draws up and is ready to box. We're gonna keep this thing looking nice, you know, as much as possible, you know, and you know, those are some of the things that you do for that girl. You
that also counts as quality time too.
Yeah, real talk.
Hey, listen, I wish I were as good as Van knowing how to do here, man. Listen, my wife, she was working. My wife used to work night shift. So I had my son and I had my daughter. I think it was just 2 at the time. But my daughter was in this like parents' day out thing. You drop them for a few hours, come pick them up. So I dropped her off. My wife was coming to pick her up. And man, that morning her hair was looking a mess. Man, I was trying. You like, okay, this one go here, this go here. Man, that thing was not coming together, man. And we had to go. I think I had something at work. I took a hat that I had. I put that hat on her head. I dropped her off at this daddy's day, this parents' day out, right? Whatever, parents' day out. I said to them, do not take this hat off her head. Man. I said, do not take this hat off her head. Man, I get a call at work. My wife was like, what did you do to my baby's hair? How'd you set her there with her hair like this? So my wife goes to pick her up. Of course, y'all know that she does not have the hat on her head.
Yeah.
Her hair is looking all kind of crazy, man. And I got in trouble for that one.
That's hilarious.
I just know my wife knew after that. You gotta help me out a little bit. You gotta do something. Before.
Some tutoring, Doc. Need some tutoring, man. Listen, we appreciate you guys coming on. Before we go, my last question is, and I think it's fitting. Me and Key want to ask you. Listen, is Kimon and Van? Are you all the fathers like the scene on Bad Boys? When Martin Lawrence's daughter brings a guy to the house and they both grilling them. Guys, you know your daughters are older in age now. Van, are you got a shotgun in your hand and a pitchfork, Doc? What's real quick, man? 30 seconds. If a man's coming to your house, Doc, what's up, Van? What you giving him, man?
Man, I am going to give him Hades. I'm not gonna lie. It's something different, man. I mean, Kimon will call me out, so let me just be honest. I'm gonna give him Hades, but I am going to be open.
Okay.
I want her to do all her life. She's not going to marry me. I think she's a beautiful young lady. I do have high standards, and I think that the best way to see to it that she follows those standards is that I live by them. That I live the qualifications that she's looking for. And so far, I pray that I've done that. So I'm just hoping that she doesn't choose some sorry joker there. But I mean, listen, if he makes it to the house, he's done well.
He's done well. That's true. He's done well. Keep on. What about you, man? You got 2 of them, Doc.
No, I do plan to scare him a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, look. Eventually, I'm gonna vibe with him. I'm gonna talk to him, especially if he's cool. But I got to scare him a little bit. I got to give him something to make him like he got to be able to show. Okay, I ain't gonna just run off at the first sign of your dad.
Fear.
Your heart. If you run off when I give you a little bit of pretend hard time, what you gonna do when something really happens? So I'm gonna give him a little bit of a hard time. Now, I think my girls might know that I'm pretending, but he ain't gonna know. So I'm gonna give him a hard time.
That's it. Yo, fellas, this has been dope. G, man, we appreciate you guys. Listen, my daughter is 8 days old. I'm about to go upstairs and change a diaper now because that's my thing. Yes, that's. Brad, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for being on today, guys. We appreciate y'all, man.
All right.
Straight up, man. G, what you got?
Hey, this is Academy Podcast. You can listen, you can watch, but do one of the 2 and share it. Whatever you do. Thanks. Come again.
Peace.
All right, peace.
You've been listening to the Academy Podcast with Austin and G. Hit the subscribe button and come again. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and of course, Facebook. Oh yeah, and if you know someone who could use the information you just gained, take a minute to share.